I'm John Husky. I'm president of Meta Housing Corporation.
My name is Ken Long, and I work for Largo Concrete.
My name is Brian Novak, and I work for K&L Gates.
My name is John Mavar, and I own my own construction company, Mavar Construction, Inc.
My name is David Nagel, and I'm the president of a company called Decron Property.
We are real estate developers, primarily of senior housing, both affordable and market.
We are a structural concrete subcontractor.
We're a rather large firm, but we have general IP, litigation, corporate, and patent prosecution.
We're in both the real estate development and real estate investment business.
We specialize in dealing with owners and developers in evaluating and analyzing their construction needs for primarily multifamily and housing, condominiums, and apartments.
Since the late 1970s.
I've been working with Cobalt since the 2700 Figueroa project in Los Angeles.
I met Darren Cruz in late 2007.
I've worked with Larry and Darren since August of 2009 till the present time.
Our relationship started in 2006.
I find that in this business, at least, and maybe other businesses, that what produces the best products and the best teamwork is a sense that everyone's working for the team. And that means both in-house employees, consulting employees, and contracted companies. If you just take a look at the work product that Meta has done and the number of awards we've won, you'll see why it's been very, very advantageous to us to use Cobalt. And I look forward to a lot more projects with them.
There are always better ways to do it, and I think Cobalt is exceptional in that area, and quite frankly, I mean that. Bring a problem to the company, come up with a solution. 99% of the time, that solution is a
The
done.
word that always comes to mind when I think of Darren and his team is organization. No matter what Darren brings to me as far as an innovation or something he wants to add to a patent application, it's always well organized.
I find that I believe Larry personally has the ability and the knack to select really quality people, demand a high level of excellence, and get it. And it just was translated in the levels of respect, the levels of communication that I saw on a daily basis between the upper level management of Cobalt and the field personnel. It was a very pleasant experience.
I love working with Cobalt because I can depend upon their word to be absolutely as good as their notarized signature. I have done so many large changes and transactions with them based on nothing more than a discussion followed by a handshake, and they've come through.
We don't always have positive relationships with all the general contractors that we work with, but I would certainly rate Cobalt as one of the highest from an enjoyment standpoint. And in our position, I've been in Southern California for 20 years, and I'm dealing with developers on a regular basis. And I have been very comfortable to recommend Cobalt on a number of occasions. And that's just how highly I think of the firm.
Darren is very trustworthy and very transparent at the same time. If I ask Darren a question, I know that he will give me the answer and he will provide me with the documentation.
I think the key to transparency and trust is organization. If the company's not organized, they're not organized with their paperwork, they're not organized with their backup, all of a sudden that leads to confusion. Confusion all of a sudden leads to gray areas, and gray areas ultimately leads to some feeling of mistrust.
I trust him 100%.
Being trustworthy and transparency is of utmost importance to us. A standard adage that we have in the construction managed industry is don't expect, but inspect. I was on the Cobalt job on a daily basis and found that every single time that Cobalt said that something was going to be done, was done. Money and money accountability is obviously extremely important. This was done with complete openness and transparency. Everything that Cobalt told me at all of my inspection points were done precisely as advertised. Very pleased.
In many ways, the high integrity that Darren Cruz and Cobalt have spreads. I think like bad quality things might spread, so do good qualities like trust and integrity spread among people, and it makes it a little easier to do business amongst everyone.
The word that always comes to mind when I think of Darren is innovator. He'll get a team together, they'll go out to a job site with tools that they need to further refine what they had developed, find ways to do it faster, do it cheaper. It's all just a dynamic
Saved
process.
us about $2 million on a $30 million project through value engineering, through aggressive bidding process, and the actions of the buyout team at Cobalt. So we were able to not only meet and exceed the owner's expectations as far as levels of quality and finishes, but also to do it at a below budget fee, and that is extraordinary in my opinion.
On projects where commodities or other pricing increased dramatically during the construction period, and it was necessary to do value engineering to bring the project back within budget, the Cobalt people are really tireless at coming up with ideas of how to save some money. The involvement of senior management at Cobalt for me and for my key people has been both continuous and very high quality.
Either Darren or Larry were present for about 8 months of pre-planning with weekly architectural meetings. Most companies don't do that, and that involvement is what led to the incredible success of this project.
For all of the projects that we've conducted with Cobalt, that they have been very available, and the senior management has been very involved. So if we had a question or I had a question and I called Larry, the vice president at Cobalt, and was asking him questions, he would actually in most cases have an answer for me already, or he would be able to get an answer and respond back to me quickly, which is pretty good considering his position relative to the projects that we were doing for their firm.
I would say out of my 35 years of experience, this has been the smoothest job that I've ever had.
Clearly, these are smart guys that have true engineering and construction experience. They're guys who have good integrity. I think they're probably a good partner to have in any business that you go through. And those are probably all the same criteria. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You want to associate yourself with smart people, guys who know how to solve problems. And I think that's what they are. They're problem solvers. And I think if that's what you're looking for, then you got the right guys.